you know I'm a critic of the ABC, have been for a long while. I know the ABC very well. I used to work there, and I've worked very closely with it when I was an advisor to Liberal governments, and I've worked with it closely as a subject in interviews and a contributor on programs. I know the ABC pretty well. Lots of fine, objective journalists producing great product at the ABC, but my main criticisms are that overall there's just far too much of it is from the centre-left or the left perspective. The ABC has lots of hosts and interviewers and producers who see the world from a left point of view, and virtually no one who sees anything from the centre-right point of view, which happens to be, if you look at the election result, pretty much where mainstream Australia sees the world from, the centre-right. But at the ABC, they have no one seeing it from that perspective. I also think the ABC lacks accountability. It's basically a staff-run collective, and there aren't proper accountability processes. And I also think it's getting too big. At $1.1 billion of your money, 5 television stations, anything up to a dozen radio services, online services and mobile applications sort of coming out every day, I think it's too big. I think it's a market distortion, and we should look at cutting it back. And I've said so in print and on Sky News quite a bit. I say we should review the ABC, look at maybe even shrinking it, certainly making it more accountable. Now this week, for my trouble, the ABC decided to hit back. Now, did they ask me to come on Q&A to talk about my criticisms of the ABC? No, they didn't do that. A radio interview at one of their 60 radio stations to talk about the ABC and ABC bias? No. Did they ask me to go on one of their many online sites and write a piece about ABC bias or the challenges of ABC funding? No. Instead, one of their comedy shows, The Hamster Decides, decided to do something with me which I won't show you. It's too offensive to put to air, but they put it to air at your expense, your taxes. A picture of me, there's no polite way to say it, of me, a doctored picture, something fabricated, of me up a dog. Literally up a dog. This was supposed to be funny. It was pretty crass, pretty offensive, but that was their way to hit back at me. Now, look, if you want to see it, it's on the ABC website at your expense, at taxpayers' expense. It's still there. You can go have a look at it. My sister and her children, they saw it, and my kids now, when they want to Google my name, they'll see it in the future. It's just a nice little slap down from the ABC because I dare to challenge the ABC on behalf of taxpayers. I, like you, pay for it. I think it's quite extraordinary, and it kind of just proves my point. If my point is that the ABC lacks accountability, doesn't give us value for money, always attacks targets on the right, never attacks the left, there's your case in point. I've challenged them over their funding and bias. They show me up a dog. This is quite extraordinary. I'm sorry to have to use such expressions for you, but this is what the ABC's become. Now, Mark Scott, obviously, who runs the ABC, he's responsible for making sure it's efficient, accountable, adheres to proper standards in public debate. He obviously hasn't got control of the ABC, otherwise people in the ABC would know that they shouldn't go this far. I mean, I'd find it easier talking about this if they'd done it to someone else, obviously. I would abhor it no matter who they did it to, but it happened to be me this time, and I won't be shut up about it. So Mark Scott's got no control over the ABC with these sorts of standards. It's a big problem, and it just underscores the point that someone needs to get to control of the ABC and make sure it adheres to proper standards and we get value for money from it. So, you know, it's not really your ABC, it's their ABC, and they do what they like. One funny thing out of it today is I got a call from Media Watch. Media Watch apparently are going to do a story on this. I presume they think it was beyond the pale and reprehensible. They think I'm going to talk to Media Watch to have a go at the ABC. They must have forgot, the young staffer who rang me must have forgotten that about 15 years or so ago, the ABC on Media Watch defamed me much more grossly and much more offensively and much more inaccurately even 15 years ago. And even though they were found to be completely inaccurate and wrong through a Royal Commission, they never apologised then and they never will apologise. They are just not accountable at the ABC. Why would you put your faith in them to correct the balance? It's a real problem, and I think what we need to do is focus on the ABC and make them accountable. Look, they've had their fun with me. I take their point, and I will never criticise the ABC again. They have now silenced me. I'm only joking, of course. I'll keep criticising the ABC. It'll be fun to see what they do next. What can they do next? They've defamed me. They've shown me up a dog. What will they do next? Well, next time I criticise the ABC. We'll see. Keep watching. Now watch Sky, and I'll let you know what they do on the ABC next.